Ghana's legal team has urged the International Court of Justice to uphold the validity of the 1899 arbitral award and order Venezuela to reverse actions it says were taken in defiance of the court's binding orders. During submissions before the World Court, international lawyers Paul Reicha and Edward Craven advanced two major arguments on Ghana's behalf: that the 1897 Treaty of Washington was a valid legal foundation for the 1899 award, and that Venezuela must be compelled to undo recent domestic measures claiming Ghana's Essequibo region as Venezuelan territory. Reicha reminded the court that Venezuela accepted, respected, and complied with the 1899 arbitral award for more than 60 years before formally challenging it. He said it was not until 1963, some 66 years after Venezuela ratified the treaty, that it began raising complaints about the agreement.
Neither Venezuela's contention of fraud nor its contention of error withstands scrutiny or is even plausible. In the first place, its contentions are counterintuitive.
However, Craven turned the court's attention to Venezuela's recent conduct. He argued that Venezuela has deliberately and repeatedly breached provisional measures issued by the ICJ since December 2023.
It is difficult to read these words other than seeing them as a form of intimidation, as Venezuela is thus announcing in substance and shamelessly that it would itself exacerbate the dispute if it were decided by the court.
Ambassador and Director of the Frontiers Division at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Donald Skeet, has warned of the grave implications of Venezuela's unfounded claim to more than 70% of Ghana's territory.
The loss of nearly 3/4 of its territory would not be a border adjustment. It would be the dismemberment, indeed, the effective destruction of the country.
Together, the submissions form a broad defense of Ghana's position that the 1899 arbitral award remains valid, binding, and legally effective. Ghana is asking the ICJ to confirm the award and ensure that Venezuela's recent actions are reversed. Antonio De reporting for the AGP Nightly News.
So there was breaking news over the weekend on Cuba. The president slapping more sanctions on those trying to do business with the island nation. Havana is in the middle of a worsening economic crisis. Prices on the island are soaring, people struggling to survive on government ration books that are shrinking. Electricity said to be minimal right now. Here with me in studio is Ernesto Sobran Guzman. He's Cuba's ambassador to the UN. And sir, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Bill, for having us.
Yeah, you bet. To give people an idea, $40 a gallon of gasoline in Cuba today. That is quite high. People are encouraged to take public transportation. UN resident coordinator says this: Cuba's running out of time. We need fuel now to save lives. Cuba's hurting. The U.S. blockade is working. How do you get out of this?
Well, Bill, as you mentioned, those executive order that President Trump signed on January 29 and the last one on May 1st, it shows very clear that the blockade exists, the embargo exists, and it has an extraterritorial impact, because it is not only an issue between Cuba and the U.S. The U.S. government has imposed sanctions to those governments that decided to sell oil to Cuba. And the last one said that any person, any company, even when they don't have relation with the U.S., they will be also part of these sanctions if they have this bilateral trade with Cuba. So it's very clear that the blockade exists.
They're tightening the noose on that, I think, is maybe where you were going with that, not to put words in your mouth, but the stranglehold is working. But yet on the side, there has been communication between the U.S. and Cuba. Hasn't been a lot, but is this now the time for you to send a signal to the Trump team to talk more?
Well, Cuba has been saying for many years that we are ready to talk with the U.S. government, and we are ready to have a different kind of relation with the U.S. government, beneficial for both parts, not only for Cuba, but also for the U.S. company, also for the U.S. citizens. By the way, in the past, we had this kind of relation. Cuba became the overall destination for cruise ship companies based in Florida. We had a cooperation in different sectors. The agricultural sector in the US, they sell a lot of product to Cuba at that time. So there are a lot of opportunities in terms of a bilateral relation between Cuba and the US. The only requirement that we set is that those relations, those negotiations, supposed to be based on reciprocity, based on equal footing, based on respect, sovereignty, and independence, and based to not interfere in the internal relation, not in Cuba, not in the US.
Are you saying you're open to more talks?
We are open, but
Yes.
this is a historical position of the Cuban government to have more talk with the US.
Okay, here's the president on Friday talking about Cuba.
Yes.
Listen here.
He comes from originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately. No, Cuba's got problems. We'll have one of our big, maybe the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, the biggest in the world. We'll have that come in, stop about 100 yards offshore, and they'll say, "Thank you very much, we give up."
I know you heard that. What did you think when you heard it?
Well, if someone thinks that words like give up, surrender, or collapse are in the Cuban dictionary, in the Cuban people's dictionary, that person, those peoples are sorely mistaken. In the Cuban dictionary, you will find words like resilience, resistance, defense of sovereignty, and defense of our independence.
If the USS Abraham Lincoln was off the coast of Havana and could provide your 10 million people with aid and assistance today, would you accept it?
Well, you know that we had a parade last Friday first as part of our celebration of the Labor Day, and there were 500,000 people in Havana, more than 5 million people all around the country, saying that we are ready to talk with the US, but at the same time, we are ready to defend our sovereignty, our independence.
Okay, sir. We'll see how this goes. Ernesto Soberan Guzman, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for the
It's a
invitation.
big topic, and there's a lot on the line here. History and more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. 12.
Gaston Brown now holds the title Right Honourable, formally conferred following his historic fourth consecutive election win. Despite the new honour, he retains responsibility for finance, corporate governance, and public-private partnerships. Sir Stedroy Benjamin also continues in his role as Attorney General with responsibility for legal affairs, public safety, immigration, and labour. Both men took the oath of office, pledging to uphold the Constitution and discharge their duties without fear or favour.
I, Gaston A. Brown, do swear
that I will honor, uphold, and preserve the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda and the law.
that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge my duties as Prime Minister,
Discharge my duty as Attorney General and do right to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Governor General His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams said the results gives the government the stability and authority needed to tackle national challenges.
To the Prime Minister-elect and the Attorney General-elect, as you take your oaths today, you do so backed by a renewed and powerful mandate. The expectations, I must warn you, are high, but so is the level of experience and wisdom that you both bring to these high offices.
The oath binds them to confidentiality in cabinet matters, a key requirement for the functioning of government. The remaining members of Parliament-elect are expected to be assigned portfolios next Tuesday at the American University of Antigua. Elisha George for ABS News.
Welcome to Channel Links, your most reliable shipping agent. Shopping online sometimes can be challenging, especially when trying to get the best deals from China. But with Channel Links, they make it easy and simple for you, the shopper. With agents working with them for over 20 years, Channel Links offers the best in supplier screening to ensure background checks are done on online merchants, so you know you're shopping with genuine sellers. They handle freight forwarding. No cargo is too big or small for their shipping services, shipping from their warehouses in China directly to your final destination. And get this, they offer door-to-door and port-to-port services as well. So, whether you are ordering from AliExpress, Alibaba, and other Asian shopping sites to cash in on affordable prices at the best quality, shipping from China to the Caribbean, your best and only option is Channel Links, located in St. Martin, with shipments also to St. Kitts and Nevis. For more information, call or WhatsApp 1721-554-4802, 1721-526-4766, 1721-581-6968, or 1721-580-4834, or email contact_us at channel-lynx.com. Channel Links, your shipping solution.
You ready? You ready? Let's go!
Cheers to the city. 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 Cheers to the city.
King James is a soca artist out of the beautiful island of Sunshine City, St. Martin. I love music, grew up around music, and I just love to entertain people. Got started in music from a young age. My creative process is, one, I would get a vibe, get a melody. That's why having Telem behind us makes such a difference. They are not just our local telecom. They are supporting local artists, giving us the support and tools to keep creating and sharing without limits. And with Telem's new internet speeds, I can upload my files and tracks in seconds, send big files to producers overseas, and even live stream without worrying about buffering. But Telem has always played a role when it comes to young talent on the island. I would actually go as far to say this: without Telem, there probably wouldn't be a King James right now. Telem is showcasing that St. Martin can compete on any level. They are investing in us, in our creativity, and in our future. And that's something I'm proud to be a part of.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
Speaking at a pre-cabinet press briefing on Monday, Tourism Minister Ernest Tilley addressed questions about the potential impact of developments in the aviation industry on flights to St. Lucia. While noting that Spirit Airlines did not service the island, he acknowledged that its collapse, driven by financial struggles, rising operating costs, and failed recovery efforts, has heightened concerns about possible ripple effects across the region.
Spirit, like you said, did not fly to St. Lucia. And they flew a lot in the southwest of the United States. We always worried about it. We don't own an airline. We don't own or have investments in airlines. So we are at the mercy of others. We are price takers. And we negotiate and we try to encourage the airlines to fly. So we always worried about the loss of, airlift. But, there's sometimes you don't worry about the things you cannot control or influence. In your calculations, in your analysis, you take them as taken. You take what exists. You anticipate what may be, but then you still have to always be ready to take it for what it is.
Despite this, Hille pointed to encouraging signs within the tourism sector, highlighting an uptick in visitor arrivals as the island moves through its busy jazz period. He stressed that while the government has limited control over airline operations, efforts are ongoing to closely monitor developments, maintain strong relationships with existing carriers, and encourage additional airlines to service the destination.
We've seen all the flights coming in from the United States literally booked. All flights coming in. Because this is the season for it. There's jazz, and then it takes a lull, and we go into carnival when it will peak again. So, yes, we always concerned, we're always looking at what's happening, and we just have to continue to work to get as many airlines as possible coming to St. Lucia.
The minister's comments reflect a cautious but steady approach to safeguarding St. Lucia's tourism industry amid ongoing changes in the global aviation landscape. For the DBS News World, I am Amanda King.
Meanwhile, re-elected Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Browne says this nation he leads will not cower to anyone. He spoke Friday morning of expected external pressures, though he did not go into details. But Antigua and Barbuda is one of several countries that have faced a U.S. visa ban and which has been pressured to end the medical program exchange with Cuba, among other issues largely inspired by Washington. It is also under pressure to scrap its citizenship by investment program with threats of further visa access sanctions from the European Union. Browne, now with a renewed and deeper mandate, struck a defiant tone in his address to supporters early Friday, referring to the challenges in the new global environment.
We must remain a dignified people. We must not cower to anyone. We must not be timid. We must stand tall in every fora, every regional, every international fora as Antiguans and Barbudans.
Browne declared that his government would stand up to every challenge and, as he puts it, stand tall in the international community.
I guarantee you that this small nation will continue to stand tall in the international community. We will continue to punch above our weight. We will continue to be champions of people globally, especially the dispossessed. We'll continue to be champions of climate change, of repatriative justice, of small island states development, and champions of equity, global peace and development.
The Antiguan leader said he expects more external pressures.
Demands will be made from time to time, and we will tell you what demands are made of us, and you will be part of all of what we decide. In fact, we'll make sure that there is increased participatory governance. Anytime there is any issue, any external pressures from any administration, we will make sure that we keep you informed and you will be part of the decision making.
In a striking video statement, leader of the opposition Azwaddin Mohammed highlighted a troubling disconnect between Ghana's booming headlines as the world's fastest growing economy and the harsh financial realities faced by many of its workers. Despite impressive national growth, the average worker's income stagnates, unable to keep pace with the rising cost of living, giving rise to a new class of the working poor, he lamented. As the country observed Labor Day on May 1, 2026, the leader of the We Invest in Nationhood exposed how a full-time salary no longer guarantees an escape from poverty.
We are witnessing the rise of the working poor, where a full-time salary is no longer enough to keep you out of poverty. It is a national outcry when the public sector minimum wage stands at a pittance of $102,346, while those in the private sector struggle on a pittance of $60,147.
Mohammed expressed that these figures starkly reveal an economic inequality, where those who contribute significantly to the nation's wealth struggle to cover fundamental necessities such as rent and nutritious food.
Can the PPP oligarchs survive on this salary? These figures are an insult to the people producing our nation's wealth. In a land of plenty, no worker should have to choose between paying rent and providing a balanced meal for their family.
Beyond wages, workplace safety remains a critical concern. Unsafe conditions, a lack of proper protective equipment, and insufficient enforcement have led to 13 workplace deaths this year alone, he recapped. Workers are afraid to speak up about their concerns in fear of victimization. The opposition leader highlighted how the loss of collective bargaining rights makes this situation worse. Temporary workers face exploitation through political coercion and delayed salary payments, while trainee nurses subsist on meager stipends insufficient to meet basic expenses.
I saw many trainee nurses standing on Middle Street waiting on further instructions to attend the president's brunch at State House. They complained that they earn a stipend of $16,000 per month for 3 years while in training. I do hope they told the president as well, because nobody can survive on $16,000 in this economy.
Other opposition officials have criticized the government for public sector remuneration packages. An economist speaking on the condition of anonymity to this newscast said that the private sector must step up its game, given the trajectory in the country's development. Antonio D reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Welcome to Channel Links, your most reliable shipping agent. Shopping online sometimes can be challenging, especially when trying to get the best deals from China. But with Channel Links, they make it easy and simple for you, the shopper. With agents working with them for over 20 years, Channel Links offers the best in supplier screening to ensure background checks are done on online merchants, so you know you're shopping with genuine sellers. They handle freight forwarding. No cargo is too big or small for their shipping services, shipping from their warehouses in China directly to your final destination. And get this, they offer door-to-door and port-to-port services as well. So, whether you are ordering from AliExpress, Alibaba, and other Asian shopping sites to cash in on affordable prices at the best quality, shipping from China to the Caribbean, your best and only option is Channel Links, located in St. Martin, with shipments also to St. Kitts and Nevis. For more information, call or WhatsApp 1721-554-4802, 1721-526-4766, 1721-581-6968, or 1721-580-4834, or email contact_us at channel-lynx.com. Channel Links, your shipping solution.
You ready? You ready? Let's go!
Cheers to the city. 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 Cheers to the city.
Don't miss News Desk, weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. St. Kitts to the World, now streaming everywhere.
At Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design, we're thrilled to be your go-to print shop located in the heart of Bastille. From essential services like printing, copying, and laminating, to a diverse array of school supplies, arts and craft materials, and office essentials, we've got you covered. Don't fret, Digital Print Plus and Crafted by Design are here to stay and ready to be your trusted partners for all your printing and craft supply needs. Ready for a visit? Find us at the corner between Dillio and Princess Street. Just look for the vibrant pink and yellow building with white doors. We can't wait to welcome you to our creative haven. Regional leaders have been sending high praise to St. John's. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Browne has secured a fourth consecutive term as the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party won a commanding victory on April 30th. CARICOM Chairman Dr. Terence Drew congratulated Browne on the historic win. He says the results show deep confidence in Browne's vision for the nation. Prime Minister from Trinidad and Tobago Kamala Persad Bissessa SC, Barbados Mia Mottley, Bahamas Philip Davis, Grenada Dixon Mitchell, Dominica's Roosevelt Skerritt, Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali all echoed sentiments of congratulations, expressing a desire for stronger Caribbean unity and partnership. The United States government has also weighed in on the results. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio congratulated Browne in a formal press statement. He stated that the U.S. looks forward to working with Browne on regional security. This includes new efforts to stop illegal immigration and illicit trafficking. Closer to home, opposition leader Penelope Beckles Robinson, artist Crazy, and Desra also welcomed news of this win.
In today's digital age, artificial intelligence is reshaping how information is created and consumed, raising serious concerns about its impact on democracy and public trust in the media. On May 3rd, as World Press Freedom Day was observed, the Media Institute of the Caribbean warned about the misuse of AI tools and the rise in so-called social media journalists who may lack credibility and accountability. Jim Joseph, Managing Director of MAP and IT Solutions Limited, which monitors AI content, says journalists must protect their integrity and remain committed to the truth during this critical time.
When the press is weakened, and that does not necessarily mean in the traditional form where persons are deprived of their right to be able to speak, or what we present as the truth is challenged because of the ability to generate information, whether it is deep fake, whether it is images generated by AI.
He is encouraging media houses to invest in artificial intelligence tools, but to use them responsibly, particularly as a fact-checking and proofing resource. He also urges journalists to remain independent, avoid political influence, and uphold the principles of responsible journalism to ensure the public is properly informed. Joseph is also calling on citizens to become more digitally literate so they may be able to identify misinformation in an increasingly complex media landscape.
AI is not the threat. It really is the misuse of AI that is the threat. So the same tool that can be used to inform and can also be the same tool that's used to mislead. I think it is more a case of the erosion of trust. People are becoming increasingly skeptical of the media, of government, or even verified facts.
He warns that without public trust, journalists cannot effectively carry out their role as watchdogs of society. He is also cautioning media practitioners against compromising their integrity for personal gain, stressing that they must remain custodians of truth. The growing influence of social media personalities blurring the lines between fact and opinion was also highlighted as a major concern.
Many times we are addicted to or we gravitate towards things that are sensational, things that are emotional, to the expense of things that are credible.
Joseph concludes that media visibility, literacy, and press freedom are essential to shaping a nation's future, warning that without urgent action, the region risks weakening its democratic systems and limiting citizens' ability to access reliable information and to participate meaningfully in public life. For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislas reporting.
Tobago is marking World Press Freedom Day with a mix of legal victories and sobering statistics. While the judiciary is recently reinforcing constitutional protection for the media, new data reveals a sharp decline in the nation's global standing. Joel Green George reports on the challenges facing the Fourth Estate in 2026.
Trinidad and Tobago has plummeted 13 places in the latest World Press Freedom Index. As we celebrate the 35th anniversary of Windhoek Declaration, the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago is sounding the alarm on digital harassment and political pressure. The theme for World Press Freedom Day 2026 focuses on shaping a future at peace. But for local journalists, the current climate is increasingly restless. According to the 2026 World Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, TNT dropped from 19th to 32nd place globally. This decline is fueled by structural pressures including political advertising influence and a lack of witness protection from sources.
The recent ranking, this year we became 32nd. Out of, I think, 140 people from countries, and from 19 last year. So we declined a great deal.
Beyond the rankings, the digital world has become a new front for intimidation. Political operatives are increasingly recording reporters on duty and sharing out-of-context clips to damage their credibility.
There are certain issues that we face as journalists, right? You know, there are a lot of trolling taking place against journalists on social media. I mean, that is what we do. When I say we do our job, and it affects people's lives sometimes, and we have to stick with the truth and be accurate and be fearless.
The Court of Appeal recently ruled that police search warrants executed at the Trinidad Express offices were unconstitutional.
Relatively, we consider ourselves very safe in terms of how we operate. And in any democracy, it's very important to have a free press.
Matt maintains that while the Fourth Estate remains structurally safe from state-led detention, the public's right to trust their news sources must be protected from digital distortions. For Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Joel Green George.
MSCR Old Road United Jets and Azul KM Rockets both struck early in the 2025-2026 SKNFA Final Four playoffs, securing narrow 1-0 victories in their opening matches. In the first game of the doubleheader at the National Bank Group Technical Center, Keon edged Hunter Newtown United 1-0, courtesy of a 20th minute strike from Mervyn Lewis.
To Barnes. Barnes has Williams going around the corner. Williams with a touch. Williams with a cross. And inside for the a spanker, a rocker, and it's in the back of the net. It's 1-0 in favor of Keon Rockets. Well, Mr. Lewis got a touch.
Speaking after the match, assistant coach for Keon, Anthony Nets Isaac, emphasized the importance of maintaining focus as the team pushes toward a spot in the finals.
Right now, the guys is on camp right now, so it's really a much togetherness right now. So ain't much thing we need to do to keep them together, because they organize a camp on their own, wait on the field itself. So whatever done there, it is just about football at all times.
He also pointed to the need for improved defending in midfield ahead of their next outing.
Well, from last season to this season here, in the first game that we win tonight, is that just a little more defense in the midfield area, because at some point in the game we lost, we were inside there, but we just asked them to come back in just to keep it together. But going forward, we need to work a little more on the defensive part in the middle of the field itself.
In the second encounter, regular season champions and still unbeaten MSCR Old Road United Jets secured a hard-fought 1-0 victory over 10-man Development Bank St. Peters FC. The decisive goal coming from leading goal scorer Tikwani Williams.
Tikwani, still with it. Tikwani looking to fire a shot and puts it into the back of the net. That one goes through the hands of Henry. Henry not able to hold on. It was not the most powerful shot by Tikwani.
Lyndon David of St. Peters FC was sent off in the 23rd minute with a straight red card. Head coach Alexis Morris of Old Road credited his team's mental focus as key to grinding out the result.
Me, as I would have told my team, is no longer about the fitness or the volume of work what we did, but basically about sharpness, mentality, clarity and recovery. To me, for most of it, out of those 4 things that I spoke about, there was equal to about 2 of them. I think that there were some insularities that creeped in on our guys, but we were good enough to get the winner, and that is what I'm grateful for. I think that we stuck to it nonetheless, and we were able to get the go-ahead goal and win this game. So I must say congratulations to my team as well.
St. Peters coach Wayne Phillips praised his players for their resilience despite going down early to 10 men.
They played with guts. They really showed that they wanted that win. I mean, the red card really affected us, and I could see the guys were fighting even after that. You know what I mean? And seeing the results, I am super proud of the guys. I'm super proud of them. We're just going to build from strength to strength from there.
Final 4 playoffs continue on Wednesday, May 6th, with Azul Cairn Rockets taking on Development Bank St. Peters FC at 6:30 p.m. followed by MSCR Old Road United Jets versus Honda Newtown United at 8:30 p.m.